Here we have some very basic candlestick lines. These are known to, I'm sure, all or most of you. So what's nice about the candlesticks is the shape of the line itself relays who's winning the battle between the bulls and the bears. So we have a candlestick line called a hammer, and it has a very long lower shadow, twice the height of the real body, and the real body could be black or white. And we don't have to know, if this is just based on the name, if it's bullish or bearish. Let's analyze what the line looks like. Now remember, a white real body means that the close is higher than the open. The real bodies are the relationship between the open and the closing. So a white real body means the open is here and the close is here. So the shadow is down here, long lower shadow. So at some time during the session, whether it's intraday, daily, or weekly, the market opened here and sold here, down here, right? But what happened by the end of the session? It rallied to close at the highs. It's okay to have a little bit of an upper shadow and still be a hammer. Even if it's a black real body, it's a hammer. Now let's look at the shape of the shooting star. We can look at the line itself, the candlestick signal, to see if it's potentially bullish or bearish. Bearish, long upper shadow. What is that telling us? That the market is rejecting higher levels. One of two things is going on here. Either the sellers are getting more aggressive, meeting all the demand of the bulls to pull the market down to close at the lows, or buying demand is drying up. But either way, it's telling us the market's rejecting higher levels. And for those new to candles, remember the real body, as I said before, is the relationship between the open and the closing. If it's a black real body, that means the close is under the open. So this is the open, and this is the close. Here we have a bullish engulfing pattern. A white real body engulfs, hence the name, a black real body. What do you think that's telling us about the state of the bulls versus the bears? Who's taking control of the market at that point? Right, the bulls. White real body wrapping around a black real body. And for those of you who are looking at volume, we would be looking for higher volume on the white candle than the black real body. So again, just very, very easy to combine your favorite Western indicators with candlesticks. Here we have a bearish engulfing pattern. The bears are taking control from the bulls. And keep in mind, when we talk about bearish candlestick signals, like a shooting star and a engulfing pattern, it doesn't mean necessarily to think about using them to going short in a market, but you could also use them to know when to potentially exit a position. Okay? And that's a challenge sometimes, because when we're entering a trade, we're really kind of proactive. We could wait, we could think about, oh, let's look at the signals, maybe look at the fundamentals, but we could take our time. But once you're in a trade, you're more reactive because you're in the market now. And so you don't have that extra mental equanimity where you could say, okay, I'm going to, let me think about this. When you're in a trade, the market is really kind of in control. And when you get a bearish, assuming you're long, a bearish candlestick signal, that could be an early potential alert to think about taking some profits. And a doji, where the open, notice there's no real body. That's when the opening and closing are the same. During a rally, and doji work better at rallies, by the way, than sell-offs. During a rally, if you get a doji, it's not really bearish. It's more the market is going from bullish to neutral. And the Japanese will say with a doji, the market is tired. So that is a potential turning signal. Again, a lot of nuances I won't have time to go into in this webinar, this brief webinar and recording. For example, you could use the high of the doji as a resistance area. So if the market closes above that, it's a bullish breakout. The low of the hammer potentially should be support. And lots of things you could do with candlestick lines.